In this video we will explore the hypothetical scenario of World War III. Who might initiate it? Which nations would be involved? How would alliances be formed, and what would be their strategic significance? What would be the potential aftermath, and who would emerge as survivors? Let's delve into the details. The prospect of World War III is indeed alarming. History has witnessed two world wars, each reshaping the global landscape. A third world war could be catastrophic, especially with the advent of nuclear weapons, cyber warfare, and advanced military technologies. Join us as we analyze the potential dynamics of a global conflict. Let's be clear, a global war does not start overnight. It is the result of a complex web of factors. Several ongoing conflicts and simmering tensions could trigger a third world war. For instance, territorial disputes often serve as flashpoints. Territorial disputes can quickly escalate into full-blown conflict. Maps and diagrams show how these regions are contested. Political and ideological conflicts are another major source of tension. These often revolve around control of resource-rich regions and strategic locations, democracy versus authoritarianism, capitalism versus communism. Historical data and statistics highlight the frequency of such conflicts. And let's not forget about nuclear weapons. Diagrams and statistics show the global nuclear arsenal. The risk of a nuclear conflict is terrifyingly real. Historical footage and expert analysis underline this threat. In the event of a global conflict, understanding the alliances is crucial. If World War III were to erupt, the world would likely split into two major factions. On one side, we would have the Western allies consisting of the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and their NATO allies. These countries share close military and economic ties, bolstered by significant defense budgets and advanced technology. Their cooperation is rooted in decades of alliances and mutual interests. On the other side, the Eastern Alliance would likely be led by Russia and China, two nations with significant military capabilities. Russia, with its vast resources and strategic positioning, and China, with its economic power and growing military, would form the core of this bloc. Other countries like Iran and North Korea might join this alliance, adding to the complexity of the conflict. The involvement of additional nations could further escalate the situation, making the global landscape even more volatile. So we've identified the key players and their alliances. But how would the actual conflict of World War III unfold? Unlike previous world wars, this conflict would be characterized by advanced technology and modern tactics. In the 21st century, digital warfare plays a crucial role. Traditional methods like trenches and large infantry charges would be largely obsolete. The initial stages would likely be dominated by air and missile strikes, utilizing advanced aircraft and precision-guided munitions. Precision bombings would target key military installations, aiming to cripple the enemy's infrastructure and communication networks. Hypersonic missiles, capable of traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, would be a significant threat. Naval power would also be a critical factor. Control of the seas through naval battles and blockades would be essential for maintaining supply lines. Blockades would prevent essential supplies from reaching enemy territories. Cyber warfare and AI-driven weapons would revolutionize the battlefield, disrupting enemy systems and deploying autonomous drones. The ever-present threat of nuclear strikes would loom over the conflict, with the doctrine of mutually assured destruction, MAD, serving as a grim deterrent. Survival of the who exactly? Who would make it through World War III? Let's be honest, folks, if World War III does erupt, surviving won't be about winning. It'll be about not ending up as a cautionary tale in a future history textbook. So, who stands a chance in this global game of post-apocalyptic limbo? First up, we've got the neutral countries. Switzerland, with its history of neutrality and its cozy mountain bunkers, seems like a safe bet, as do other geographically isolated nations like Iceland, New Zealand, and maybe even the entire continent of Antarctica. Then there are the resource-rich countries. Think nations blessed with abundant supplies of oil, water, fertile land, or other essential commodities. And then, of course, there are the survivalists. The aftermath. What happens after World War III? Imagine the missiles have ceased their deadly flight, and the cyber warriors have abandoned their digital battlegrounds. The world, now emerging from the devastation of World War III, faces a daunting recovery. What lies ahead? the future is fraught with challenges. Politically, the global map would be redrawn, with new alliances and power structures forming. Economically, the world would plunge into a crisis of unprecedented scale. Technological advancements would be a double-edged sword, spurring both life-saving innovations and new threats. Breakthroughs in medicine, energy, and communication could revolutionize daily life. However, the development of more destructive weapons and sophisticated surveillance systems would also be inevitable. Artificial intelligence would assume an even more significant and potentially unsettling role in society. Can we hit the brakes on this thing, preventing World War III? Over the past few minutes, we've delved into the harrowing scenarios that could lead to World War III. The outlook may seem grim, but it's crucial to understand that such a conflict is not a foregone conclusion. The potential for a third world war is not an unchangeable destiny. To prevent it, we must engage in unprecedented levels of global cooperation and rationality. Historically, humanity has struggled with this, but it is not beyond our reach. First, we must reduce the global arms race and the constant show of military might. De-escalation of tensions, trust-building, and addressing grievances through diplomacy are essential. This responsibility extends to every one of us. Governments and world leaders play a pivotal role, but so do we, the global citizens. We must be more engaged, informed, and vocal in demanding that our leaders prioritize peace. Outro. So, are we all doomed? The threat of World War III is a serious concern, with numerous geopolitical tensions around the globe. However, it's not an inevitable outcome. The future doesn't have to resemble a catastrophic movie scenario. We have the power to influence the outcome. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of overwhelming global issues. But every effort to promote peace, every voice raised against war, every act of kindness and understanding, it all makes a difference. So, the next time you see a headline about escalating tensions or a potential conflict, don't just doom scroll past it. Engage with it, learn about it, and most importantly, take action to make a difference.